we like sold out of all our masks that we sold, so it was like sick. Even though we were like, these aren't great for medical purposes at all.
Face coverings.
And then after a while, all of our stuff just made us look like we were COVID.
What if you saw a bunch of guys wearing your Kinder's masks, but they were doing smash and grabs? Would that be?
Hey, welcome to a non-Steve day of OTRs, which is sick. We're gonna get out on time. So.
It's a cool image, man.
Yeah, it is.
Come on, you gotta give props, man.
Fear and loathing, dude.
I give props. Props has been officially documented and given to Joe for looking like, what'd you say, bootleg?
Bootleg Fear and Loathing.
Oh.
Fear and Loathing in Las Tunas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fear and Loathing and Pahrump.
Here's a question for y'all. Think seriously, what are ways that your life has changed after the pandemic?
Ooh, I definitely don't want to leave the house ever.
Yeah.
I have a really hard time leaving.
I used to be so freaking social.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave. I don't want to go nowhere, bro. I'm a hermit.
Yeah, I think the majority of people are less social.
Yeah.
I remember doing like normal social things like recently and going, oh, I missed this. Just like barbecues at a friend's house or something. And I'm like, wait, I could have done this in the last year or two when things started opening up. But it took me a while to like get back into normal socializing. Like hosting parties, going to parties.
Yeah.
Going to like gatherings where there's a lot of people. Yeah. There's like a lot of street events where my shop is at in Waikiki where they shut down the street and then everyone comes out. And then just walking around with the crowd. Even the Thai event that we go to, things like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I fucking miss this so much.
Yeah, for real.
I think I'm barely now starting to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, really late.
Because if you think about it, right, when would your official, like, lockdown is over date for you guys? Because I feel like
it was different for everybody,
2023-ish was still transitioning, even though it was already...
2024, I feel like, was the first...
Normalcy, like full normalcy.
Like everybody's out.
It's different, too, because of where we live.
Yeah.
Like, we live in probably one of the highest guilt zones.
It's in your face.
Yeah, where people are like...
What was it officially, 2022 or 23?
When they finally were like, you don't have to. Yeah.
And like towards the end of 2020.
I think in 2024 is when they were like, CDC says, if you get COVID, stay home for 1 day.
Yeah.
Like, when that happened, I was like, okay, COVID's over.
I think there was an official announcement in 2023 that like the pandemic was over.
Yeah.
2023 May, Joe
Like
Biden.
Was it during the Russia invasion or was that still masky, like pandemic time?
It was the Russian invasion.
Yeah. Because people were joking how like
people just stopped
when Ukraine started getting invaded, all of a sudden COVID went away.
Yeah. That was the joke.
Yeah, but I never got to stay home. I never got to stay home. I never got a fucking check.
What do you mean? You just kept violating COVID rules?
No, not violating. First of all, I didn't believe in COVID like that. Second of all, I had to go work at my cannabis spot every day.
Yeah, because they're essential.
Yeah, essential workers.
So you didn't get to stay home.
I didn't get to stay home and I was pissed. Everyone's making new Call of Duty best friends and shit, getting checks. And I'm like over here like, yo, what the fuck?
Call of Duty best friends.
You're honestly better off. Bro.
No,
you're better off not
dude,
having to go
I was honestly working my ass off every day, morning to night. Yeah. And then the freeway was fucking nice, you know what I'm saying?
That was
Fuck, yeah, I was sick.
It was nice, yeah.
But other than that, I know everybody was just kicking it at home, and I never could. Like my whole house, everybody was staying home. I could never.
I had to work too because I had my the day that COVID was announced was the opening day of my studio.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was the actual like opening night where we had like a party, and that's when they did the official first day of lockdown.
Wow.
Was that night. So then we were like, oh shit, but it ended up being great.
Were you panicking pretty hard?
Not really. I was just more like, because it's not like we knew what that would become. Yeah. It was like, oh, we're gonna take a week off, I guess. Yeah. But then, like,
I don't think anyone would know that it was gonna completely shut down the world.
No, but the cool thing is that we were always exempt because our studio capacity was lesser. So the city was like, oh, you fall under the category of you don't have to close because you're not gonna have a high number of high volume people. Yeah. So business was probably never better than right when COVID hit because all the big productions had to downsize and go to places like us.
Oh,
So we
worked
ended up, we ended up slammed. The whole first year was like slammed. But the thing that I think changed the most is during that first year, I'll never forget the specific people that tried to make us feel guilty for being open.
And all those fuckers have amnesia, don't they?
Exactly.
Say their name. Say their name.
Fucking amnesiacs.
Oh, dude.
They act like they never fucking try to shame people. They act like they never fucking were like that paranoid.
But it's not only that; it's the fact that I remember exactly who was trying to make us feel bad, and those same exact people, as soon as there was a job for them to take, they fucking took it, and they did the same exact thing they were like telling other people not to do. It's just that they didn't have work, so they were just jealous and they were mad.
You hate hypocrites, huh?
I mean, hypocrisy is a natural occurring.
Hypocrite.
It's a naturally occurring thing. I don't like amnesiacs in that sense. Of
Like, let's not pretend like you weren't being a hypocrite.
Yeah, people that take the L and go, yeah, I fucked up, I overreacted.
Like
it's
some
like, yeah, you're cool.
Yeah, some of these same people that were guilting us about being open, within I want to say like 7 or 8 months, were the same people asking if they could shoot at our studio, and like they would have way more people than the limit, which was legal, like illegal for COVID. So they're the I guess the image of like being this like champion of stopping the virus was so performative that like I didn't say anything to a lot of the people that were trying to make me feel bad. I just remembered who they were. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, our cannabis.
Rub it in their face, and I still do till this day.
Our weed business was lit.
I think everybody started picking up smoking weed during that time.
I mean, when the
lot of people
lockdown was first announced, dude, the line was out the door. But then I was like, yo, boss, we're done, right? Like, we're gonna be at home? Like, nah, we're essential. I was like, fuck, all right.
Oh, because it fell under like medicinal stuff.
Yeah. But then but honestly, I was still cutting hair. Hair.
I think.
But remember, people were making you feel bad about that.
Oh, I know. I remember who.
Fuck them, man.
Dude, people were guilt tripping about giving.
He's like, how could you do that? And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm making money.
Wait, I think I know who.
Oh yeah.
You didn't flatten the curve.
Damn.
I think I'm picking up what you guys are putting.
Oh, you guys gotta tell me, please.
There's just I think that,
Yeah, it
that's
starts
the part
with the, you know.
Say his name. Say his name.
outside, like the stuff where things have changed after COVID. Everything kind of went back the same everywhere else, except for the respect you had for certain people, I think.
Damn.
Well, also that very specific person was also being very hypocritical too.
Yep.
It's only because he was at work and he got sick and he said, you know, this and that, and I was like, that's your fault. You don't took the work still, bye. The fuck you mean?
Yeah, people just wanted to blame their hard luck on like other people.
Yeah.
It was like pretty fucked up.
I don't know if certain sessions are considered essential.
We qualified as essential because we report
Certain
news.
sessions.
Without saying, you know.
But remember, wasn't it hard for you guys too at the time? Like, weren't people at least here giving you a hard time?
Looking back, I think that was the first time in my life that I didn't enjoy the things that I was doing.
Damn.
So like, damn. And it felt like I actually went into retirement because I was getting fed up with everything. So we had a pilot made, and that was really cool because we did the what was it? It was Danger Boys, and we had all these schools lined up.
Yeah.
And we launched it at UC Irvine. It was great, and then we were getting our pilot shopped to like different networks, and they were thinking about buying it. And so you guys know what happened during that whole time with the whole like industry. Like production stopped, so our tour stopped, everything stopped. So that was one aspect. The other aspect was there was a lot of cancel culture and like comedy like restrictions and YouTube, and so many things was going on there, and that was getting kind of like super censored, right?
Yeah.
And then there was the whole like internal stuff, and like YouTube was just a weird place where I feel like when we used to be loved for saying the things that we cared about and like thought about, it turned around and it was like, we want to censor you now. Like half of the fan base was like that, and we're just like, what the fuck is happening? Which is cool how we turned it around and turned it into the careful boys. We got to be careful. And a lot of cool things came out of that.
Couldn't do the Danger Boys, so we did the
Careful boys.
So stupid.
Danger Boys is dope though, man.
But I do think like my image of the audience, the industry, how everybody responded, even like within friend groups, like some people acting kind of weird, you know, like turning around trying to be judgy toward their friends that they've known for many years.
Yeah, that's the part that's weird, man.
I think that's the most interesting part. It's like the dynamic of certain characteristics of people that you thought you've known for a long time, and they reveal different aspects of who they are because of a crisis.
What up, guys? Thank you for watching us for so long. If you like what we do, please support our Patreon. Joe, tell them what we have to offer.
So every week you get 2 videos. One never released director's cut, and another one 2 half for YouTube, Patreon only. Every freaking week you get that, and you get access to our Discord where you can come chat with us.
And ask us questions that become episodes here, because we're gonna answer them and we're gonna take it seriously, and we wanna give you the responses that you want. So come stay connected with us, join our Patreon, click the description below for full details.
It's even weirder that they're giving you shit in private, where you're like, who are you doing this for?
Right.
Like,
They just want to feel
it's
good
just
by
me and
judging
you here. Like, why are you? Yeah.
And then the thing is, I would want to debate and say, hey, this is what I found. Like, it's actually posted by the CDC, or like I would call back and they're like, I can't believe you're trying to argue with me about this.
Yeah.
And I'm all like, wait, so I'm just supposed to submit to your opinion? When you're ill-informed, you just make shit up.
Because they don't have the work opportunity at that time. And it's like when you're suffering, when you think that like this, you know, everything's stacked against you, you don't want to see other people get this like pass.
Yeah.
There's a strange thing too, because you would expect, like, I had a friend whose dad passed away during COVID, which is the worst thing that could happen. You would think that like her like grief of not being able to see her dad, like she wasn't even able to like go in there to be there.
That's
with him.
rough.
That was another fucked up part.
He didn't die of COVID either, but they treated it like he did, and they couldn't have a funeral. All these things were just like robbed of her. You would think she would be mad at me, but my friends that had real shit like that happen weren't. But my friends that just didn't have work were. It kind of shows
That's
where
weird.
people stand, like, as, you know, humans. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you like that you can berate somebody.
Yep.
Especially when you're just at home and you're seeing everyone live their own life and you can't, and you're just on your phone scrolling. I think that just makes you bitter, just naturally.
Yeah.
And all the messaging too at the time was like, flatten the curve, do your part, do your part.
Yeah, that part I was
So it's
so
like
pissed at.
it becomes a
It
becomes a coping mechanism.
Yeah, it becomes like a
my
morality
part,
issue.
Yeah.
It's like you're a bad person if you're not at home
Right.
locking yourself up.
For sure, yeah.
I think I distrusted the government even more after the whole incident, because I was like, dude, these morons are so disorganized. And then they just pass the buck, like they don't even take responsibility for anything, and they don't want to make any actual decisions and be a leader. And I was like, fuck this. Why are they running our lives? You have a bunch of idiots who don't want to take any responsibility, having so much power. And I was like, dude, this is crazy. How I thought it was crazy how people just complied.
Yeah.
Hey, but with
that part.
The other cool thing though too is kind of like going back to what Ryan was talking about, was how people kind of do you dirty. Is you really know who your real squad is, like the people that actually take the time in this dangerous time to hang out with you and gather in small groups. That's, you know, like, oh, these people ride for me, man. Like, we like each other. Yeah, and we're good buddies.
That's where you really know that with or without COVID, if you just have friends that don't have work, they kind of turn into assholes regardless.
Yeah.
It's kind of a funny thing.
Yeah.
Like COVID just kind of sped that up, but there are friends, if you really look at it from like the long term, there's probably times where a friend was bitter to you for just you had a job and they didn't.
Yeah.
Well, that's their true character is tested when they're going through a bad time, not when they're going through a good time.
Yeah.
So when you can test people by if they're stressing out, like how do they react, and do they lash out on you and take out their drama on you? It's like that's kind of what happened during COVID.
Are most of these people that you're thinking about, Ryan, that like were kind of going bad on you, are they mostly dancers?
Yeah.
There we go.
Because the reason why
There's a common denominator.
because it's a very specific thing of like not having work,
Well,
and
I
you're
think
like,
'cause
oh yeah,
I think for dance, like universally, everybody was wiped.
for sure, for sure. Just like fitness was.
They ain't even got jobs.
Fitness was crazy. 'Cause
That's
even-
the wildest thing. Let's make people more unhealthy during a time.
let's
of,
create
like,
worse habits for people at home.
Correct. Absolutely.
'Cause that's
Like,
Let's keep them indoors, away from the sun, which vitamin D has already been proven to be so fucking good for your
Right.
body. Yeah.
just so stupid.
But I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was a fucking like blessing in disguise for a lot of people to figure out how to navigate without the one thing that they were best at. You know?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it taught you how to be
Well,
resilient.
I mean, for some people, it allowed them to explore other options, and other people really crumbled under the pressure.
And if you were doing social media, you fucking won.
Yeah.
You
I went to
won.
force
Specifically
retirement.
TikTok dances.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I went to forced retirement. That was fun.
You know what's funny that you say that? If you were doing social media, then you won. Like for me, in terms of what was a lifestyle change, was ironically, before COVID, I was like a lot of social media. It's like posting all the time, whether it be like TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Yeah, doing the whoa all the time. The Anthony, God, that was hilarious. After COVID, now I rarely ever post shit.
Me too.
Because you're a real celeb. That's how real celebs do it.
Especially with those glasses.
I feel like
Honestly, also it's
social
because,
media
like,
changed during COVID.
Not only did it change, but also like that was that sensitive time where everybody started calling people out for everything. If you didn't post something, you got called out. If you posted something, you got called out.
You're gonna make somebody mad if you post anything.
If you posted something 6 years ago, you get called out. Like it just turned
That's
into
true.
a whole different.
People respond to your story about something, and you're
What
like,
about the
bro, why am I in a
lives?
fight about this?
The plethora of lives that people would start.
It was
You guys remember those?
crazy.
Can we also talk about how everybody was a doctor all of a sudden?
I know, that's so dope that everyone became a doctor.
Bro, I was telling people to trust science all
All
the
of
time.
a sudden, they're talking about molecules and shit. Bacterias and how it spreads and
But then even doctors became better doctors.
Or the best doctors just got silenced.
Yeah. Right. That's really weird.
Yo, you guys know who you are. You better apologize to me
Tell them
ASAP.
It's even weirder now when like a lot of the real news is coming out. You know, like how Fauci finally was like, the mask thing was kind of just a freestyle thought. Like it didn't have any actual like medical research to back it up. Like that's crazy to admit. Why?
We saw the Chinese doing it. We thought it was a good idea.
Yeah. What the fuck,
And we've had them on for how long?
dude? And some people still, yeah.
That's
Hey, that's why I said Fauci.
Punch him, right?
Oh, I didn't say that.
Allegedly, like in your
It'd
head.
be crazy if something did happen to him.
Dude, the mask thing fucking ruined our Kinja's branding.
Yeah.
In the beginning, we like sold out of all our masks that we sold, so it was like sick. Even though we were like, these aren't great for medical purposes at all. But everybody bought them. We sold out like crazy.
Face coverings.
And then after a while, all of our stuff just made us look like we were COVID.
Hey, what about
So we were like, man, fuck this. Yeah.
flipped the other way. So
Yeah, and we were like, dude, that just hella like warped our branding and imagery and stuff. So we were like, we'll stop wearing these masks.
What if you saw a bunch of guys wearing your Kinder's masks, but they were doing smash and grabs? Would that be, would that be better branding, or is it still like, it still sucks?
Low key though, like it'd be kind of tight.
Yeah.
No such
Real
thing as
ninjas.
bad branding and promotion, right?
Honestly.
Dude, that'd be crazy if
I'm not petty, but I do hold grudges.
Yeah.
And this event, definitely, I have a checklist
Yep.
with,
Bad Santa.
people and, organizations.
Yep.
Because I will not forget.
Can you can't share anything?
No.
What does it rhyme with?
Yeah. Pfizer.
Oh, look at the time!
Does it-
the time! It's wow!